I'm going to be doing a video talking about my software engineering degree in 5 minutes. Well, I'm not sure if it's going to be 5 minutes, but let's see how it goes. So I've just gone on the University of Salford website and I have just clicked in my degree, software engineering. And at the moment, they've got 3 ways you can do it. There's one with just software engineering, and then there's one with software engineering with foundation year and software engineering with professional experience. So what I ended up doing was software engineering with foundation year and professional experience. That's why my whole degree was about 5 years long. Anyways, just like peep that international fee. Is it going to be the same way if like the first semester is going to be online? What discount do we have for that? So I think I'm just going to go into like what they have in store with the one with professional experience. And let's just see course details. What's this course going to be about? Year 1, programming 1, programming 2. I think we started with Java. What we use is something called, let me see if I still have the book somewhere else. I am sure some of you guys that went to University of Salford guys remember this book, Object First with Java. This was the book we started with, and I can remember how our lecturer was like, we have to buy this book. It's a really good book. This is what we started programming with. And we used like an IDE called BlueJ. It was actually quite nice and interactive. We were coding with it, and then we could see kind of blocks as to how the relationships of all our classics were being formed in BlueJ. So which was kind of good. It gave us like a visual representation of what our code was doing in terms of like how the classes were relating to each other. And this is great. They've added professional development practices with year 1. I think we had that in, did we have that in year 1? Actually, we did have that in year 1. So just a couple of lectures about, you know, how to put yourself out there and be professional while you're doing it. So tick. And then web development and computer human interfaces. I think in first year we did a bit of HTML, CSS. I don't think we actually dived into JavaScript in first year because we just did like a very static website. I can remember my first website. It was funny. And then we did a bit of computer internal Linux, which was, I thought that was interesting because like, you know, writing commands into a terminal and having it give you feedback made me feel like a superhuman. So that was great as well. And then we did data systems, which was a lot of understanding SQL. I can remember that as well. I think I enjoyed that. Okay, this is year 1, a good introduction to things. Year 2, my favorite year. I really enjoyed second year. We went into more, you know, advanced stuff, design patterns. So we did that with one of our lecturers, and he went through different design patterns, and we had to create like a game with the design patterns that he was like introducing to us. And I did this game. You were meant to do it based on like teaching, if like educating school kids. So I think the game I did was about photosynthesis, and it basically you're just meant to, you know, get all the water and sun to grow the plant. Therefore, yeah. And we're meant to like, so the more design patterns you incorporated into your game, the better marks you're gonna get. So that was interesting. It was fun and not fun. Let's just say that I probably don't aim to be a game developer anytime soon. So that was good. Another one that was interesting was data structures and algorithms. This course was nice. I think there were a lot of theory involved in teaching us about data structures and algorithms. We didn't quite implement anything, which I just think, I mean, it's a bit of downplay to what the course would have been if we are given the opportunity to actually implement the things that we're learning. I think people would have probably understood it better. But what happened was that we were just taught about some algorithms, some very popular ones, and then we're also examined based on those the data structures that we learned and the algorithms that we learned as well. Oh guys, in second year we had another course called Software Project with Agile Techniques. This was amazing because what it meant was that we formed a group, and in that group we're just about 5 or 6, and we had like a real client. And so this client came to us and told us what they needed, and then us as a group, we had like 1 week to like, you know, hack it out. And so it was really nice because we had to do meetings. Each person had to bring their own strong skill set. We had the showcase day where we like showcase the work that we've done to like different people, different clients, and we also had to, you know, incorporate agile techniques where we had to do stand-up meetings. We had to also use things like Trello boards where we had our sprint backlogs with the things that we wanted to do, and then kind of move them based on what thing that we're doing at the time. So we're doing a lot, or we're trying, or the module was enabling us understand agile techniques and how it can be applied to building real life applications, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed that. And then in second year as well, I did network and security. I did not enjoy that module. Like, I don't know anything about networks up till now. It was like dead. Like, I mean, when we did the practical stuff, that was cool. I think I was fine with that. But then it just like got very theoretical, and I was not really interested in it. And I was just like, okay, this has to go. It doesn't have to be my best module, but like I'll try my best. But yeah, I didn't really like that. I think they've added another module called career development, which it wasn't a particular module. Sometimes we got people come into the class when we're doing our network and security classes, and then they just tell us some things about their career, and that was about it. But there's a whole module there which is really great, guys. Like, we had this lecturer that kept on like saying, oh, if you needed anyone to look at your CV, or if you need to like change it or whatever, he was really happy to help. And this was also a time where if you wanted to go on a placement year, that's a year in industry, you have to start applying. So sometimes he sent us like links to some of the offices that he's affiliated with, and then we sent our CVs to them, and then if they liked it, you went for an interview, and then if you were successful, you were successful. But he was really, really, really helpful with that. And then we had software evolution, which was another great one. So how software evolution worked was that the whole concept of it was when you start writing software, the software goes through evolution. So like where it moves into the stage that you have to maintain the software that you've written. So most of what we software engineers might end up doing throughout our career is just like maintaining that software. So the lecturer that we had then, and what he did was he wrote a Python software, and none of us knew Python then, so we had to learn Python in order to change what he had written and add to it, and modify it to be better. So that was a whole process. So it was a bit practical. It was like a different approach to working with software that you did not write from scratch. Someone else wrote from scratch, but then you have to add to it or edit it or make it better. So that was good. So we learned Python, and then we were able to do that, and we were in groups as well, which was great. And then another really favorite one of mine was client server programming. That was the one. I love that module so much. It was web development, and we did a lot of building like a full stack application where HTML, CSS, and then the back end was using PHP. So we had to take a lot of things into consideration. I think he gave us the criteria of what we're meant to build, and I think my own website was like a marketplace for African vendors, and I did that front end, and then I had back end as well, where the people can put in their products, and then it will be listed on the main site for the customers to come and place their order as well. But then the front end was HTML, pure HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. No frameworks were allowed to be used. You had to use the core languages. And then PHP at the back end as well. No Django, no Flask, no whatever else. You had to use just PHP. But it was really fun. And of course, industrial placement. Funny enough, well, I don't know why that's funny, but like, luckily enough, I did get a placement year, and this was in Stockport. So my company, what they did was build automated software for warehouses across the UK. So when I did my placement, I was actually on 2 different teams. The first team was DFS. I worked for that team. although like when I started trying to understand how everything worked, and then I did a bit of testing in order to sort of understand how components work in the software in general. And when the software was then ready to be deployed to the warehouse, we traveled to Scotland to do that. It was really fun. I did spend, maybe if I put everything together, about a month on site. It was an interesting experience. And then I then moved into another project. This one was Nordstrom, which is a US brand, and they do sort of the same thing, but this was like a fully automated site. So it wasn't anything like DFS, because DFS was more manual. But then the one in the US was very automated. And I did a bit of coding on that project, and as well as testing as well. But that was cool. That's placement year and third year, of course. Third year. Like, one thing about my third year that I noticed was that, like, because you get like core modules and then you get optionals, and then optionals I chose were business management and advanced web development. Those were the two optional modules that I chose. But then my core modules, what I realized that in my final year, my core modules, like, it had a lot of writing other than coding, and that was a bit frustrating. That was really frustrating. I did not like that. And some of the modules that we did was software quality management, so just a lot of like talk about software and how to make sure that your software comes out good. So we had to write, the lecturer, what he did was he gave us like a theme, and we had to write 2 papers about a particular topic and submit it. I mean, it was writing. I don't know if it was fun. I just felt like, yeah. And then dependable software engineering was sort of similar, similar concept. When you know that that software can go wrong, what are the sort of things that you have to like have in mind. We did get like scenarios, and we were asked to write about it, and that was what the coursework was. And then of course, our final year project, I did show you guys what I did for my final year project. So that was amazing. I had total freedom as to what I wanted to do, and had to like propose it to my supervisors, and thankfully they accepted what I wanted to do, and so I was able to have creative freedom, which was great. Business management, the lecturer was another amazing man. He sort of like told us as technical people, if we want to set up something in terms of on the business aspect, what we needed to think about, etc, etc. The first assignment was sort of like writing or doing research on our business idea, and then the second one was meant to be the actual business plan. Unfortunately, he wasn't feeling fine, and then the outbreak happened, and so what happened was that we just ended up using the material that we submitted in first semester, and that because it took a good percentage of the module, then that was enough to kind of like grade us and say that, okay, you guys are good enough for this module. But I really wish we had the opportunity to write business plan, and I think maybe that's something I'll look into maybe sometime in the future. That was everything in my third year, and that is my degree in, I said 5 minutes, but it looks like this video is longer than that. But I really hope you guys like got an insight to what I study at university, and if you feel like, okay, this might be something that you want to go for, then cool. But if you feel like you don't need the other extras, you just want to like do your own thing and, you know, smash it in the tech industry, then I guess whatever works for you. Let me know if you want me to, you know, shed some more light on some of the things I've mentioned, or yeah, just let me know. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video or in the next post. Okay, bye.